Scheninger discusses the need to transform learning spaces and references Clark Hall as an example. No two people learn at the same rate or the same way. With this in mind, it would seem overly simple to design an area where learners can regulate how they would like their learning experiences to be accommodated. This is somewhat evident in the way language arts is taught in the elementary schools. Students are divided into groups by their ability. They are accommodated time at specific academic stations throughout the day, some with the teacher, some in groups, some with a partner, and some individually. These academic stations are benign as some work at their desk while others are more relaxed by lying on the floor or crunching up in a beanbag. Is this not a measure of individual independence and preference? Somehow we have managed to move into an atmosphere whereby we ask the students to come in, please be seated, pay attention, don't fall asleep, and do not talk or interact unless asked. Elements of Clark Hall's scenario can certainly be provided for those that can apply an accountability factor. Proper internet protocol and training must be adhered to from day number one. Notwithstanding, the system, that is staff and curriculum, must have an accountability feature also. Instructors must challenge and energize the needs of the students. The coursework must inspire an "I want to know" mentality. Finally, the building itself must be able to meet the demands of hundreds of students accessing the Wi-Fi. More than that, though, the IT division must have safeguards in place to protect unwelcome intrusion as well as interference from social escapades. What would I like every teacher to be like? Is not diversity a spice of life? Then again, what would I like every student to be like? I know that what the end expectation is, but every production does not end in an Academy Award. An ideal school is one where students, parents, administrators, staff, and our taxpayers/government get a polished product, though the government's end game is that students will become civically responsible citizens. Moreover, students want to do and learn material that they're interested in. We know from college coursework that there are many classes that are not part of the major that must be taken. With this in mind, we can minimize the classroom subjects that are less interesting and maximize the interesting subject fields. Scheninger explains how massive open online course, open courseware, and independent open courseware studies are formations for students to take appealing classes that students cannot afford to run. Schools are also a setting where socialization is required to take place. You or I would not go to a dump to socialize. Notwithstanding, having a cozy place to act at inspires us to accomplish a goal. Inherently, this can be a means of positive peer pressure to perform academically. Why not make a school accommodating? Communities range in all kinds of meanderings. A small rural town of 800 will not have the resources as a populated suburban area. Then again, big cities will have all the glitter and involvement, as well as political aspirants vying for public recognition. However, in the end, financial resources are what we are after. Scheninger's discourse on how Clark's Hall was set up is a brilliant example of space allocation. Sharing building space, rent money, building coffee shops, lease enterprises, and extending community college academics is very much plausible. Notwithstanding, working with entrepreneurs and community leaders from the local area will bring in exciting ideas. What we want is businesses and professionals within the community to sponsor educational enterprises so that the surrounding community will get serious about educational opportunities. In the case of a Clark Hall situation, what about naming rights to rooms, buildings, streets, and complexes? People love to see their names on a placard somewhere with importance. Giving stakeholders part ownership in this enterprise builds community relations. It makes us more than a community.